What do you think about YouTubers who portray India as a poor and dirty country because people are clicking and watching it, even Indians? And I take a little bit of offense in this. The words or line that irritate you most in a comment box or in real life. Let me just show you. Have you had any bad experiences traveling across India? See, if I make this the title of this video,
which I might do, just to mess with your guys' mind,
that will get the most views. She's not one of us. Well, I asked you guys to ask me anything, so you went to town. When will I get married? Only Bhagwan knows. In case we haven't met before, hi, my name is Ivana and I've been living in Bangalore for 5 years now. I'm originally Dutch. Let's just get to the first question and let's see how juicy this all gets. What do you think about YouTubers who portray India as a poor and dirty country? If I'm being very honest, the only reason they're making that content is because people are clicking and watching it, even Indians. And I take a little bit of offense in this because I only make positive content about India. One of my favorite videos is the one where my dad and me got taken on a train on Diwali by Kinjal's family. It is one of the most beautiful, heartwarming videos I have ever made about India.
This is the side of India that people need to see.
And that video has 6 lakh views. See, actually it only has 4 lakh views. Can you imagine? Now, let's see how much views slum videos get. See, there we go. We have 63 lakh views for my life in the slums. Then we spent a day in the largest slum in India. 54 lakh views, yaar. So if you're thinking of canceling me for the thumbnail, be mindful of what you're clicking. I judge the audience much more than those creators because you guys decide what goes trending and what goes promoted in the algorithm. If you click that kind of content, if you keep watching it, the longer you keep watching it, that is a kind of content that gets promoted in the algorithm and gets pushed out to more people to watch it. If you want to change anything about that, I have done my part. I don't create that kind of content. But if you want to change anything about that, stop clicking those videos and stop watching those videos. Then they won't get the views and obviously it will be a lot less attractive to create that kind of content. Anything is tempting. Again, ask me anything. The words or line that irritate you most in a comment box or in real life. Let me just show you. Have you had any bad experiences traveling across India? See, if I make this the title of this video,
which I might do, just to mess with your guys' mind,
that will get the most views. But this question is genuinely one of my most hated questions ever and I refuse to answer it.
No. You don't disrespect a person in their own mother-flipping house.
I'm not attacking you. I understand why you're asking me this question. India is very close to my heart. I love this country so much. Genuinely, if you're asking me to talk bad things about India, it feels for me like you're asking me to talk bad things about my mom and I won't do that. Even though for the clickbait and for the views, that would be really good, but I just refuse. Mother India always took care of me and I take care of Mother India as well. Are you comfortable with so much crowd in India? What's up? I prefer it any day over remote places. I feel so much more comfortable and safe in the crowds and when there are many people. I feel that people who want to live by themselves somewhere in some kind of remote area in a cabin haven't watched enough horror movies. Crowds over solitude any day. Are you still in love with India? Madly, truly, deeply. This is my soul country. You're no longer foreigner to us, Ivana Didi. Oh, bye sab. That is the sweetest thing you can say to me. However, I wish everyone would think like you because there are too many people who react very disappointed or even judgy if I don't say that I'm foreigner. They assume that I'm an Indian and then they find out that I'm a foreigner. Then they're like, she's not one of us. I'm not joking. You have no idea how many times this has happened to me in real life. Whereas if I just mention that, hey, I'm a foreigner in India, I get completely different reactions. Then it's like, oh, you're a foreigner in India. And then they're curious and sweet and everything. But the other way around, if I don't mention it, I get to bear the brunt of it. And people even judge me for having a fake Western accent. Like, look at this Indian faking a Western accent. And I'm like, but I'm not Indian. Calm down. I really appreciate you saying that, but I still have to keep mentioning that I'm a foreigner in India because otherwise people judge me way more than if I just say that I'm a foreigner in India. Do you have an Indian origin in your ancestry by any chance? Even when I say that I am not Indian, people are still looking at like, how is she fitting so well into Indian culture? How does she understand so many things? How is she so curious about Indian culture? I don't think I have anything Indian in me. If anything, it should be Turkish because yes, I am of Slavic origin. I am born in Serbia. I grew up in Bosnia. My mom is Serbian. My dad is Bosnian. And the heritage of the Balkans is either Russian or Turkish. And in the Netherlands, actually, people people always used to think that I was Turkish. I don't mind having Indian ancestry. Maybe one time I should do one of those ancestry tests. That would be interesting. How do you feel about eating with your hands? Actually, the first time that I was eating rice with my hands is documented on videos.
Ik ben een Indiaans restaurant naast de Hindoe tempel binnengelopen. Iedereen zat me aan te staren. Er zitten hier echt alleen maar Indians. Dus ik maar lachen. Hihihi. En ik zag op de menukaart daar zo dat ze dus een vegetarian meal hadden. Dus ik zo, can I have a vegetarian meal? Oké, nu krijg ik dus dit. Dit is heel typisch hè, voor India. No joke, dit is echt een oh my god moment. Het eten is super, super, super lekker. En ik zag iedereen met hun handen eten. Dus ik dacht, dat ga ik ook doen. Maar dat is zo'n andere ervaring dan als je bij ons bijvoorbeeld roti eet of zo, weet je wel. Dan heb je gewoon die roti en dan pak je eten. Maar als je echt, zeg maar, in het eten gaat en de rijst. Ja, het is echt een andere ervaring. Zeg eerlijk, dit was echt 10 stappen uit mijn comfortzone. Maar ik vond het echt een mega leuke ervaring.
I have to give Indians a lot of credit because they are so welcoming and curious when somebody from another culture tries something Indian as eating rice with hands. Obviously, I was feeling super, super awkward and I was trying to eat it like this. But the staff was so sweet. They kept coming to my table. Are you okay? Do you have enough food? Blah, blah, blah. The families who were looking at me, I could clearly see that they were more curious and amused that I was trying their cuisine instead of judging me like, look at her, like, oof, she can't eat with her hands. No, they were more like, wow, she's trying it out. Like, oh, that's so cool. I could just clearly see it in their eyes. It was more curiosity and amusement than judging me. And I really, really love that because it gave me a lot more confidence. And by now, obviously, like eating with my hands is just second nature. I live in Bangalore, so yeah. South India for the win. How does it feel when you are willfully away from your family, friends, food, and culture? Don't you long for these things that everyone treasures? You're trying to hit me in the feels, man, seriously. Of course, I long for my family and friends, but that is honestly the only thing that I really, really miss about the Netherlands. There is a reason why I chose to make such a big sacrifice coming to India. Overall, my daily life in India, the quality of my daily life is just simply better than in the Netherlands. I definitely do feel a growing guilt each year that I'm away because my parents are getting older, but also because my friends are really family in the Netherlands. I think if I can go back to the Netherlands at least once or twice a year, I am okay because then I can keep up with everything that is happening in their life. But the 3 COVID years, Do you also have all seasons in Netherlands like India has? Summer, winter, monsoon? I just wonder how monsoon looks like in Netherlands. Second question, when will you get married if we may know? This is so interesting and it's the most Indian question ever because we don't have monsoon in the Netherlands. We do have spring, summer, fall and winter. So we do have 4 seasons, but there is no such thing as monsoon. Although with the Dutch weather where it rains 90% of the time, but no, it's cold and it's rainy and it's windy. It's nothing cute like the monsoon here. In case you are a foreigner, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Monsoon in India is supremely romanticized because you drink a hot cup of chai and you have some snacks and it's warm outside and it's raining. The rain is actually a relief from the heat, so not a freaking torture for your body with all the cold freezing all your bones. No such thing as the monsoon, but definitely 4 seasons. Cheers. Is there any culture shock you have noticed in India which is not in Netherlands? I have a whole series on this, my friend. I've linked all those videos down in the description below because there are too many and actually those cultural shocks are very funny. I'm an Indian expat in the Netherlands. Yay! There's so many of you. Why don't you post about places to be visited here? Excuse me? Have you missed all my videos about the places to visit in the Netherlands, the places to visit in Amsterdam, my day at Schiphol? Somebody hasn't done their homework and I take offense in that. But I have done your homework for you and linked those videos down in the description below so you can go ahead and watch those. What is the best thing about staying in the Netherlands? Well, I actually moved to India because I hated the weather in the Netherlands. But if you're asking me what is really good about living in the Netherlands, I would say the many opportunities for walking in daily life. The roads are really good. There are separate roads or like sides of the roads where you can walk, and there are even cycle lanes. So I really, really like that. In India, that's a little bit more complicated because anyways, Indians don't like to walk unless they're hiking. That's a thing. I'm an Indian living in the Netherlands. Well, we switched places apparently. How difficult is it to learn a foreign language for you? Honestly, very difficult. And it's not even that I cannot do the pronunciations or learn the words.
Namaste dosto, mera naam Ivana hai, और इस वीडियो में
सिर्फ हिंदी बोलूंगी.
It's more of a mental block as an adult where you feel so much shame about pronouncing something very wrong.
मैं हिंदी, oh god. जल्दी जल्दी ऐसे होता है. प्रीति जी इम्प्रेस थे. सब ठीक हो जाएगा. मुझे versus में it's so hard.
Actually, for me, the easiest places to speak Hindi, because that's the language that I was learning, is in marketplaces where the market salesmen, they don't care. They'll just speak Hindi to me as much as I possibly can speak back. But if it's with friends and family, cutely, they'll laugh of my Hindi or they'll switch to English, and that's all not helping. So it's much more of a mental block in actually speaking it than learning the words or the grammar or the pronunciation or those kind of things. But I have something on my bucket list which I'm not sharing online, and hopefully maybe before the end of the year it will work out. Who knows? Okay, if you say so, when are you going to get married? There are hundreds in line and I'm one of them. Well, I appreciate the honesty, the smoothness. Only Bhagwan knows. Will you keep your relationship private if when you get married? Please don't answer if uncomfortable. Oh, that's so sweet. It's not uncomfortable, honestly. I've spoken quite a lot about my relationship online. The thing is, my boyfriend, first of all, is a very private person. Second of all, I don't want to create couple content. And third of all, I think a lot of people underestimate how much bad vibes it brings to expose your relationship to the outside world. I need some chai for all this juicy questions. How's your average schedule as an influencer? Is it too hectic? The last 3 weeks were crazy. Yesterday and the day before that, I had my first 2 days off in 3 weeks. Yes, I worked on Saturdays, Sundays, full on. Usually my day starts at 6 a.m. in the morning and try to be in bed by 10 p.m. But obviously if there's a shoot in 2 days, like impromptu by a client, I'm not in a position to say no to money. No entrepreneur is. It is just a very bad business strategy if you depend on clients to give you work and then you're saying no when that work comes your way. So a lot of work happens impromptu and then you have to switch up your schedule, and that's why sometimes you just have to work in the weekends and go on and on and on for 3 weeks, and then you end up having only 2 days off in a month. But it was really nice. And on the other hand, let's not complain too much. I am in a position to say no. When I was working in the corporate world, I wasn't in that position. So I count myself very, very blessed that if I really don't want to do a collaboration, or if I do want to take some days off, I am in that position and I can do that. Oh guys, I have started Threads. I don't know what to post, but I got one question there from Item Boy. Woohoo! Item Boy, do you dance in videos? Okay, I don't want to offend anyone, but thank you so much for asking that question. Is Bambi and your boyfriend, are they close to each other? Yes, they are. Oh my gosh, this girl is such a daddy's girl. She loves him way more because he feeds her a lot more snacks than I do. He's the feeder, so I refrain from feeding extra, but yeah, they love each other. She follows him around everywhere and she is a total daddy's girl. Who is Ivana as a person beyond a beautiful outer being? Again, very smooth. Let's go for this. I would say one of my greatest character traits based on experience is that I'm very, very loyal. Most of my friendships by now are family. They are decades, if not 2 decades long. When I find my people, I hold on to them for the rest of my life. Now, if somebody decides to let go of me, you won't find me in the same place where you left me because I'm a Taurus. We don't deal well with abandonment, but the other way around, me letting go of somebody who is a really good friend, no, that doesn't happen. The friendships that have been broken in the past, it's not many of them, 2 or 3, were legit psychopath people. I can say that out loud. I feel very comfortable saying that, and they will never ever get back into my life. But in general, when I find my people, I hold on to them for the rest of my life. So I'm very, very loyal. From where you started your career and how? I started my career in the corporate world at one of the top 10 communications agencies in the world in their Netherlands or Amsterdam branch. I started out as an account executive with the most simple tasks like making media lists or drafting press releases or those kind of things. And I grew into my role as consultant over the next 6 years and was handling big A-list brands as clients like Procter & Gamble, BlackBerry, Biogen. In the last 2 years of my corporate career, I actually started YouTube because my best friend is the OG YouTube queen of the Netherlands, Beauty Glow Smasha. In case you don't know her channel, you should definitely check it out. I started YouTube because of her. I loved it so much that when I quit my corporate job after 6 years and started traveling, obviously I started making travel vlogs and then continued to do it. And this is my 10th year of YouTube. And obviously coming to India, I also started doing consulting work again. So I do business consulting, I do some coaching, and I do content creation. Is intermittent fasting really worth it? Yes, yes, yes. I have been doing intermittent fasting for 3 years now. In case you don't know, it took me 6 months to get accustomed to the new eating schedule. I start eating by 1 or 2 p.m. with my lunch, and I stop eating after 10 p.m. It has done wonders for my focus in the morning. I feel so much more energetic, and actually my stomach also feels much less bloated because I'm simply consuming less food because the frame for eating is less, and it just feels amazing. 10/10 would recommend everyone to at least try it out. What's the secret of your beauty? Very smooth. I appreciate that. I would say Botox. Which all food places would you recommend in Bangalore? Let's just go with the local places. For that, I would definitely say Rameshwaram Cafe. Don't come for me. Seriously, that ghee podi idli is just too good. Obviously, MTR, you have to have the Mangalore buns there, but also all of their dosas and idlis are really good. And then, of course, Vidyarthi Bhavan, the classic. It is really good. I haven't been to CTR myself, so that one is on my bucket list. Oh, and Airlines is also really good, and you can go to Corner House next door. If you check off all of those places of your Bangalore food list, you have had a real taste of Bangalore. How can you book an auto in Bangalore? It's just next to impossible to find one in time. It depends on your locality. I bet you are living in Koramangala. And I don't want to hate on Koramangala, but seriously, I call it the Bermuda Triangle because the last time that I was there in 2018, couldn't get an auto. I was stuck on the Domlur flyover, and I just refused to go to Koramangala until this day because it's simply impossible to get an auto there. So the most autos that I will get are around Lavelle Road or 12 Main Road in Indranagar, or even in my area where I live. It's perfectly fine. I use multiple apps to book, obviously, Uber, Rapido, Namayatra. I book all of them simultaneously. Whichever one gets booked first, I take that one. But also, I think it's important to give tips to the autowalas. I always give 10 or 20 rupees extra because that keeps my rating very high in the booking apps. My rating in Uber, for instance, is 4.8. That helps with the bookings. Which is your favorite snack in Bangalore's chill weather? Dokla, Khandavi. I know those are Gujarati snacks, but I really like those two. And then Piyaz Pakoda. So onion pakoda when it's raining outside, and then chai. Heaven. Any plans to see northeastern India? I don't know, I feel like our region is pretty underrated, but you'll love it. It's beautiful. I definitely don't think it's underrated. It looks stunning, and I don't know what it is, but every time I plan on going there, something happens. I was supposed to go to Darjeeling back in November, and that trip, it just didn't happen. And every time there is something like that whenever I plan a trip to Northeast. So it is definitely on the top of my bucket list. Trust me, it looks stunning. In case you don't know what Northeast India is, it is a 7 sister states in northeast of India. One of my favorite movies is Barfi, which is also located, it's shot in Darjeeling, and it looks so beautiful. So yes, it definitely looks stunning, but it just takes some planning to go there. And until now, I don't know, something has been sabotaging my planning. So send me good vibes, and hopefully I will make it out there soon. What country would you like to see that you didn't visit yet? I actually have visited a lot of countries. One time I did one of those app thingies, and it looked like I had seen 20% of the world. There are a lot of countries that I'm not interested in visiting simply because they are too cold for me. But 2 that I am still interested in visiting are Japan and Singapore because of the food. The food looks so good. Best international use credit card in India, preferably with minimum fees. I would say MasterCard or Visa. In case I didn't answer your question in this video, you should definitely check out the other Q&A videos, because then probably that question has been asked before and I've answered it in the previous video. Have fun watching more of those.